Who would have thought we would have made it back here to chapter 13 of Hank Zipper, the world's greatest underachiever? But we're here, and here we are. We're going to keep going because there's not a lot left. I want to finish this up. Let's do it. My dad was setting the table while my mom was putting the finishing touches on dinner. When I walked into the dining room, I noticed that he was putting out soup spoons. I actually got excited. I hoped that maybe my mom had brought home some famous Papa Pete's mushroom barley. No such luck. Your mother has created a new soup. She's trying it out on us tonight, said Dad. These are not the words you want to hear in my house. My mom is always trying something new, and it doesn't always come out right. Please tell me the soup doesn't have cabbage in it, I begged. One thing I've learned in my 10 3/4 year on Earth, that cooked cabbage not only tastes disgusting, it makes everything around it disgusting. It doesn't have cabbage in it, my dad said. Oh, yes. She says it's 3B soup. A mixture of beets, Brussels, and sprouts. Oh, and bananas, all grown up together. Oh no, cement soup. You could probably hold bricks together with this, I thought. My mom came in, swinging the door from the kitchen, carrying a big steaming bowl of that awful smelling stuff. Soup's on, my mom called out. Everybody come and get it. Emily came galloping out of her room, carrying Catherine on her back like she was taking the lizard on some crazy kind of piggyback ride. Catherine must have smelled the soup because she got closer to the table, her nostrils got really big, and she started to hiss. Oh, look, Kathy seems upset, Emily said. Maybe some nice music would calm her down, Emily said. Why don't I put on a CD, I suggested. That's a very good idea, honey, my mom said. Emily took her place at the table with Catherine and Catherine the Ugly still draped across her back, and she looked over at me, and she winked. Emily, that is. Catherine isn't what you call a good winker. I flashed Emily a little smile. I have to admit, the girl may be the oddball, but she was taking my side, which was kind of cool in a little sisterly way. As my mom dished the soup into the 4 bowls and put one on each of our places, I raced into my room to get the Stone Cold Rock CD. I hope you don't pick anything too loud. My dad said. Dinner music should be on easy on the nerves. No problem, Dad, I answered as I slipped the disc and cranked up the volume. I could hear the disc starting to whir, and it was gaining speed. It smells really interesting, Mom, I said as I crumpled up a handful of crackers and put it into the liquid. My dad was just putting his first spoonful of soup into his mouth when the music started to play some Stone Cold Rock classic hit, Whacked Out, Crazy for You. Wang dang, wang dang dang, woo woo. The bass guitar belted out a thumping beat and exploded into our dining room like a bomber diving into the soup bowl. I thought my dad was going to jump out of his skin. His spoon went flying out of his hands and sailed across the table. Ladies and gentlemen, the soup has left the spoon. As the spoon flew over the table, the soup had one spin and splattered in all directions, little clumps of it landing on the table, the walls, and my mom's little pink sweater. Thunk. The spoon landed with a thud right on the end of Catherine's hissing snout. Careful, Dad. Kathy has a very sensitive face, Emily shouted. What about my ears? Dad yelled. They're sensitive too. The beat was great. The whole dining area was thumping with the bass. And the lead singer let out a wild shriek and launched in the first lines of the song that were so catchy, you had to sing along. I looked at my dad, and his eyes were really big like he had just seen a ghost. But he wasn't looking at Cheerio, okay, who'd been sleeping at Dad's feet. He was staring at my mom. She had jumped out of her seat and had started to sing. I don't mean the tra-la-la-la-las. She was rocking it out in a major way. And she was dancing, too. I don't mean hold your partner on a twirl slow dance either. All the parts of her body were shaking, all at different times. I love my mom, and I don't want to embarrass her totally in case she ever reads this, but I'll describe the way she looked like this. Imagine your favorite rock song, then imagine your mom sing it to the top of her lungs. Then imagine her dancing it with all of her heart and soul. Have that picture in your mind? Good. Now multiply that by 20. Okay, that's close to the way my mom was singing and dancing to Whacked Out Crazy for You. Come on, Stan, my mom giggled. Get up and dance with me. My dad didn't move. He just sat there with his mouth open. My mom grabbed Emily and started to dance with her. Good old Catherine freaked out. I guess in Iguana Land, where she comes from, they don't boogie down. When Emily started to shake her butt, Catherine hung onto her back for dear life. Finally, the shaking got too much for her lizardly self. She drove headfirst into the back of Emily's shirt. Her back claws clutched onto Emily's shoulders. As I watched my mom and Emily dancing around the room, singing the words to Stone Cold rocks whacked out crazy for you, I knew I had my dad in the palm of my hand. There was absolutely no way he could say that he wasn't going to take my mom to Philadelphia now. But parents are full of surprises, aren't they? I was wrong about my dad, totally, completely, absurdly, entirely wrong. Because even after I told my mom about how I won the concert, even after I played another Stone Cold rock song, even after I gagged down all my soup and told my mom how delicious it was, even after all that, my dad still said he didn't want to go to Philadelphia. It's silly to go all the way to another city on a weekday just to see some young men who need haircuts play some instruments. But Dad, they're Mom's favorite band. And here they are, holding up the CD, all packed up nice on a shiny disc. Mom, aren't you going to tell them how much you want to go? Marriage is all about give and take, my mom said. If it makes your dad uncomfortable, then how much fun would it be for me? How much? It would be totally fun. Hank, I'm fine not going to the concert. Why is it so important to you anyway? Why? For once, the words were right there. Because I want you to miss my parent-teacher conference. I don't want you to know how bad I'm doing. I don't want to be held in this grade again because I don't want to be left behind. But I didn't say any of that. Instead, I just shrugged my shoulders and said, no reason. We're going to stop there, answer those questions, and we're going to go on to the next chapter next time.